What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The catch. Fam, I hope everyone is doing phenomenal tonight. I hope you guys have had a great start to the week. Hope everyone out there is doing fantastic. And as always, I hope you guys are ready for another live 2024 fantasy football draft here at the catch. Hopping into some Underdog fantasy football drafts tonight. We'll throw together some beautiful squads for the upcoming season. Got a big injury to talk about. Jahmyr Gibbs suffering a hamstring injury at today's practice. Got the report about 2 hours ago that he was being evaluated for a leg injury. Then the update from about an hour ago that he suffered with a hamstring injury. So we will talk about it. I'm sure you guys have. I mean, everyone's talking about this. It's August 12th. These are the things that we get to talk about in the offseason. I will let you guys know I'm a little bit under the weather tonight, but duty calls. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is hurt. There's no way. I can't stream, right? But just letting you guys know, I'll probably be moving at a little bit of a slower pace, and I will be drinking tea and all that good stuff. So, it's 10:13 p.m. Eastern time. I think I want to hop into the Flock Community Contest number 4. Already halfway filled. This will be filled by tomorrow, if not by tonight. So if you guys are interested in getting in, make sure that you do so sooner rather than later. And, of course, if you're new to Underdog Fantasy, promo code TheCatch. Link is in the description. We'll get you a first-time deposit. A first-time 50% deposit offer up to $250. So, and a free pick 'em. So, you guys know what to do. All right, I'm going to go ahead and enter the lobby probably at 10:15 p.m. Eastern time, just to give everyone else a couple minutes here to try and get in. But Flock Community Contest number 4 at 10:15 p.m. Eastern time. That's about one more minute from now. All right, we also got an update on Malik Neighbors' foot injury, believed to be a minor ankle sprain. So, timetable on there, not 100% intact as well. We'll keep an eye on it. And J.J. McCarthy also not practicing, dealing with knee soreness. So, I don't know if that really matters in terms of fantasy, because we're going to be probably seeing Sam Darnold to start the season, but J.J. McCarthy also, coming out of that promising rookie performance preseason. Oh, no, he's got soreness. I think it's going to be a huge impact to anything super important, but we'll keep an eye on it. So, yeah, obviously the Gibbs injury is the big thing here. This is going to spook a lot of people. You got Gibbs currently at an ADP of 11.2. By the way, 3, 2, 1. I'm entering the Flock contest. Got in, but it says I had a network error. 4 spots. Get in the dang draft, people. So, yeah, an ADP of 11.2 on Sleeper for Jahmyr Gibbs. Then when you go over to Underdog, his ADP is sitting at 12.5. So, I mean, essentially a first-round pick on both platforms, but sometimes you do see him kind of fall into that second-round range, beginning the second round. So, I really just consider him into the first, beginning the second turn kind of selection. So, am I worried about Jahmyr Gibbs is probably what you guys care about. And I would say I'm optimistic that things are going to be fine here. Yeah, I don't want to overreact. It's like, we had the Josh Jacobs injury. Told you guys, don't overreact just yet. Let's try and wait and see what reports come out about this. Hear the coaches talk. Joe Mixon gets a little banged up. This is still a veteran player. Let's not freak out, right? Puka Nacua gets hurt. Let's not freak out. It's not the end of the world here, right? But I think the interesting thing is, as this offseason goes on and we have more players of high caliber get hurt. I mean, Christian McCaffrey, calf strain, not going to play in the preseason. But we have more and more high caliber first, second round, third, fourth round guys get hurt. One of these players will be impacted throughout the season negatively in terms of fantasy, whether it's by the time they're on the field, does it affect their play? Do they end up missing actual time? You look at Cooper Kupp last year. Is like Cooper Kupp hurt in the preseason, and that ended up impacting his play beginning of the year. Somebody will be impacted one way or another by one of these injuries. More than likely. But to what degree? And once these players are fully healthy, how much does it really matter? If they're still hitting their ceiling when they're fully healthy, then they're probably still worth the draft selection where you're drafting them, So unless we get like a really, really negative report from a head coach, GM, offensive coordinator, then for me, I don't overreact. I think Jahmyr Gibbs, beginning of the second, into the first, where he's been going, is probably still just fine. But if you're, a little bit more cautious the next day or two, however long it takes for us to get a more clear indication of what's going on, I think that's okay as well. Just kind of depends on how you want to look at it, but other guys like Malik Neighbors, I think probably in that kind of range of players. Hollywood Brown, I mean, where he's being drafted, like I wouldn't put him in that same tier, but Josh Downs is another name, right? So I think the main thing is when you look at hamstring injuries in general, most running backs come back in about 2 weeks. So as long as there are no setbacks from the injury, I think he'll be playing week 1. But here's the big thing, right? Wow. Look at the draft board. Debo at the 2-1, A-Chain at the 2.2. So Gibbs slipping here. But I think the big thing is when you look at Jahmyr Gibbs' situation, it's not like the Lions need him healthy. They have David Montgomery. They don't need him healthy. So I think that's going to worry more people than anything. Like, if Gibbs does have a setback, well, the Lions aren't going to panic. They're just going to play David Montgomery. Also got Dak Prescott dealing with ankle soreness. But yeah, like Gibbs falls to the 16 tonight. I'll still take Gibbs at the 16. Wow, we got Jonathan Taylor falling back here too. Interesting. Goes Adams. I mean, really, getting C-Mac at the 1.1, I want to go back-to-back wide receiver here, but JT just be hard to pass up. Wow, Cooper Kupp has moved up to an ADP of 22.8 on Underdog. I don't know if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's like 6 or 7, 8 spots for Kupp. All right, so go Devonta Smith. I kind of want to switch it up here. But I'll go Mike Evans. That's fine. I was thinking about going Metcalf there. All right, chat, what's going on? Rain, good to see you. RS, good to see you. Ray, not worried for Gibbs. If he falls to me mid-second, That's even better for me. Potential league winner upside. Yeah, I mean, I still agree. It's like at the end of the day with Gibbs, what it's going to boil down to is, like I said, I mean, if he's still playing at the ceiling that you're drafting him for when he is healthy, then like it just doesn't really. I mean, it matters, but it's like if he still performs when fully healthy at that ceiling, then I think things will be okay. Like if he falls back 2, 3, 4 spots in the draft, I don't think it's gonna make or break you. How much have you spent on best ball drafts this year so far? I mean, I don't know. I mean, keep bear in mind I am sponsored by Underdog, so I will just say that much. I don't know. I mean, I have 85 total teams, but that's not including so including weekly winners, pre-draft best ball, and the eliminator. I have 94 teams, which is not that. I mean, there are like content creators out there with like 700 teams, or maybe not that many, but there are people way ahead of me. All right, let me see. Taylor, sorry if you didn't. I announced it more than once at the beginning of the stream, but that I was hopping into the Flock Fantasy. Yeah, I did look at your trade offer. Um, I'm definitely not. I will never trade Amon-Ra St. Brown. I can tell you guys that much. If I have Amon-Ra St. Brown in Dynasty, I will not trade him unless you're offering me like Devonta Smith and 4 first rounders and Rashad White. Like when there's a player like that on, like it doesn't matter if I'm in a rebuild, or not. Like if I'm contending or not. Like if I have a player like Amon-Ra St. Brown during a rebuild, then I'm like, whatever, it's fine. No, I have to be absolutely blown away, and I think that's the way you should really view players like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown, even Tyreek Hill, definitely CeeDee Lamb. So yeah, not nearly enough for Amon-Ra. The second offer, I value Rice way higher than that. I know you said feel free to counter, but I mean I did look at them. I know I need a tight end in the 1 QB league. I value Rice, I think, way higher than a lot of people in Dynasty, mainly because I think if the suspension thing never happened, then I think we'd be viewing Rice way closer to a first round value. Like I think his perceived value in Dynasty would be way, way higher. And I think in um, uh, redraft as well, he'd be going way earlier. He'd be going in like that Michael Pittman, Tate Dell, Stephon Diggs, DJ Moore type area drafts. So I would be interested in trading for Komet, but I would not be interested in trading Rashee Rice. But sorry for not answering you. Dang, and there goes Rashee Rice. Speaking of, there goes my boy Kirko. I like Pickens in this format a lot. Some really good running backs here that I know won't make it back to me. I will reach on Xavier Worthy. I think any of these other wide receivers, McLaurin, Keenan, Ridley, Reed, Godwin, if you like them, are fine there too. Other move here would have been going tight end or taking a running back, but we'll go hero RB for this draft. We will move right along. Let me fix. There we go. I like the chat big on the screen now. Let me get caught up here. Smokey, what's up? Jason, Chase, great to see you guys. I will be drafting a second team, more than likely. So, like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I am under the weather. I'm going to try and do a second draft if you guys want to get in. And I'm down to do a Best Ball Mania if you guys prefer that. Do you think Malik Neighbors can be a top 15 wide receiver on talent and volume alone this year? I mean, talent-wise, yeah, for sure. Volume, no. I just don't. I mean, like, the volume's probably there, but I'm just too worried about the quarterback situation. Would I be like super surprised? Not necessarily, but I mean, I think the easy answer is yes, but let me see. Albert, what's going on? Taylor, how to shoot my Amon-Ra, my shot on Amon-Ra, and it was a long shot. I mean, I've had better offers for Amon-Ra. You know, I've had people come in way more aggressive for Amon-Ra. I think I have him in 2 of the 4 dynasty leagues. And still, I won't trade him. Thoughts on Bo Nix, the next CJ Stroud? Whoa. Did Stroud even look good in preseason? I don't remember. I feel like Stroud did not look that great in preseason. I don't remember there being any indication of Stroud like being Stroud until like right when the season started. So, no, not the next CJ Stroud. He looked fine. But Bo Nix was playing like Jarrett Stidham looked the worst easily out of the Broncos quarterbacks. But Stidham was playing the closest combination to actual starters as possible. Dang, I feel so bad for the guy who drafted Mahomes. I mean, I don't feel bad, but Rice gets taken at the 46. Worthy, I reach on. Then Hollywood goes at 68. At least he has the former connection of Mahomes and Hill there. Who's Goat Napped going to take here? No, I was trying not to jinx it. I was going to say, if I get Rachaad White at 72, I will be ecstatic. You already know. All right, I'll go Ingram. I'll go Monty, but I don't mind going like Jameson Williams, one of the 2 rookie wide receivers, Coleman or Thomas there. I will say if like Christian Watson's here, Deontay Johnson's there, I'm taking those guys. But man, I thought we were about to get Rachaad White. I don't mind Alvin Kamara here either. Yeah, I'm okay with these 2 picks. Chase asks, have you drafted much of DK Metcalf? I don't believe so. I'm trying to get more shares. I mean, really in that range, like I've drafted a lot of Waddle, Smith, Evans, even Ayuk, DJ Moore, Olave. I feel like Metcalf's always the odd man out for me. Let me check my exposure. I think he's kind of down there. Yeah, I mean, he's at 3.5%. I mean, that's low. It's not awful, but I have 3 shares of Metcalf. So All right, sorry, trying to read something real quick. All right, let's see in the chat. Taylor, you can send all the trades you want. I also, for like a dynasty trade, I usually like try to let it digest for a day or so. IQ talent. How do you feel about the Hill and A Chain stack? I mean, I'm fine with it. If there's an offense I'm going to look at from last year going into this year, that I think can score this close to the same amount of points. The Dolphins are up there. I mean, you do have to look at that game against Denver and realize like that's probably not going to happen again, right? But even if they regress, I mean, I think the Niners, I think the Lions, there are teams that I think are okay to overly invest into going into the year. So let's see here. I think the Ravens are up there too. Sorry, I'm being lazy and typing with one hand for some reason. Oh. Typed in the wrong ear. Yeah, I've got the Cowboys were number one. They had 509 points. Dolphins are number 2 at 496. And Niners, Ravens, Lions, Bills, Eagles, Rams, Saints, Browns. Browns tied with the Colts. So, yeah, I mean, I think any of those top 5 teams are okay to overly invest into. All right, so probably I'm going to go running back, wide receiver here. Keep it simple. Man, people, I am sticking by my DeAndre Swift shares. People are definitely feeling the spookiness of Khalil Herbert right now, which is fine. I mean, he was on the field a lot with the starters. It's fine. 9 carries. I'm still in on my Swift shares. But it's like if you draft Swift in the 8th, like how expensive is it to draft Herbert? And I think Homer is going to make this squad. I don't know if they're going to go into the season with 3 or 4 running backs, though. Because Swift, Herbert, Roshan Johnson, and Homer, I think, are all potentials. And Ian Wheeler, the rookie, looked pretty good, too. Not like he was going against stiff competition, but. Cinnabon, what's up, man? So you can change your keeper if they get hurt. So if you decide you want to change your keeper, being Gibbs, you are allowed to do that. As long as it's not post-draft. But if it's before the draft, which, by the way, for those of you in the Superflex League, I am thinking of changing the date for the Superflex League because it's like 6 days from now, but I got to sit down and look at my calendar. But just so you guys know, I will make an executive decision later on. We'll find out. Chase, as a Broncos fan, don't give me hope. Yeah, I mean, I think Nix can be fine, but we can't judge Bo Nix off of this one game. It's just way too premature. Way too premature. But hey, I hope for the sake of all Broncos fans, Bo Nix is fantastic. Footwork looked good. I mean, like, if you're a Broncos fan, you saw everything that you wanted to potentially see out of Bo Nix in that start, right? I'm thinking about going. Man, I really wish that I got Christian Kirk in this draft. I was hoping Gus would fall here too. There goes T-Law. That goes to the. No, it doesn't. Team at the 1-2 had Kirk. Oh, he has Brian Thomas. Okay. Fair. I like Myers in this range. All right, so I'll go Purdy just for those dump offs to C-Mac. I just don't. This is a tier wide receiver I'm okay passing on. So I'll go Jerome Ford here. Yeah, that's fine. So this is a nice start. Purdy, C-Mac, Monty, Swift, Ford, Devon Smith, Evans, Pickens, Worthy, Dobbs, Ingram. Got to kind of map out another stack in here. Like we are like Purdy to C-Mac. Not really. We really want a quarterback to wide receiver stack, so it's probably going to be Baker, Moneymaker. I do feel like from the 1.1, 1.2, just like, because you kind of have a disadvantage in terms of drafting quarterback, I feel like, from that position. So being able to get Mike Evans there is just so valuable because it's such an easy stack. There was a point where you could pretty much easily get Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk right there on top of Christian McCaffrey. So being able to map out Purdy pretty late too felt like a good deal as well, so to speak. Jason says, I'm sick as well. Let's do another flock before it closes. I'll power through it. Taylor says Stroud threw a pick on his first preseason pass. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that the preseason was not so good for Stroud. So that's like another way. Like, don't overreact to these preseason games. Just don't. Shopkey, good to see you. JSC says, I have a feeling Baker will struggle big time this year. Gut feeling. I mean, I think that it's okay. It's fair to say that might happen because Dave Canales is no longer there. So I think that's fair. Like, are you more concerned about Baker as a player or what elevated him to that level last year? But it's like at the end of the day with Baker, he's so cheap at drafts that it's like, you know, I don't worry about taking the risk on him, I guess. I mean, he's top 10 quarterback in fantasy last year. Like, if he was going where like Cousins and Stafford were going, I'd be much more worried. I also like have been on record for a long time being a Baker Mayfield truther. So, you know, bear that in mind too. I've always liked Baker Mayfield. All right, a lot of good talent here. There goes Tua. Man, I feel like people have been sniping each other on stacks like all draft. I mean, poor Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle drafters here. But Tua is just I mean, it's kind of their fault for not drafting Tua. Tua goes after Goff, Cousins, and Stafford in this draft. I feel like Cousins and Stafford are getting more aggressively drafted. There goes Thielen. I feel like more people are buying in on the Panthers offense, too. I will take Jahan Dotson all day long here. Tough pick for this next choice. I'll go Hawk. Put Hawkinson behind Ingram. I like Josh Downs. I like Mooney here. Chuba Hubbard's the other name. Like, that would have just capped off my running back room for this draft. All my running backs would have had different bye weeks. He'd be my RB5. And then I really need Baker to fall. I almost just took Baker here. And whoever has Chris Godwin, he's got Richardson. I mean, he might take Baker at like 159. So, yeah, there goes Chuba. I mean, Chuba's ADP. This guy's kind of light at running back behind Henry, but I mean, I get, like, if you draft Hawkinson, you probably have to draft a third tight end, like, undoubtedly. I mean, Ingram's bye week's not till week 12. Like, I could just roll with these two guys. I just really like the perceived upside of Hawkinson down the stretch. But, I mean, Purdy, C-Mac, Monty, Swift, Ford, Devonta Smith, Evans, Pickens, Worthy, Dobbs, Dotson, Ingram, Hawkinson is a pretty solid start. I'm a little worried if I'll get Baker or not here. Did Caleb check the ball down a lot in college? I was trying to actually see if I could find this. I don't really recall him doing so, but I feel like because he also didn't really throw to the tight end a lot. But in the NFL, like, you're gonna have to do both of those things, you know. If anyone has a better answer, let us know in the chat. I tried to Google it, like what his actual checkdown rate was, and nothing came up. Cinnamon says, I'm going to wait and see what they say Gibbs' timeline is. I mean, that's probably smart, too. I'm really hoping Rashid Shaheed doesn't climb into ADP anymore. I mean, he's always a guy in the offseason that's pretty popular. But Derek Carr's most recent performance in preseason might sway people. And this guy goes Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, which I think was smart. Which now that makes Baker the top-rated quarterback. So most these teams have 2 quarterbacks except for team 2. So, hoping we get Baker about 4 spots against ADP here. If not, honestly, I'll just draft Will Levis. Do you guys think it's worth pursuing a George Pickens stack? Like, because right now Fields has moved up to 178. This is ADP on Underdog. That's ahead of Daniel Jones and Bryce Young. Russell Wilson is at 212.9. Man, I really need to stop drafting Demarcus Robinson. All right, so we get Baker. Could go with another quarterback right here, but I think Jalen McMillan would be interesting here too. I like Braylon Allen. But I'll go Jermaine Burton. I just realized that these picks are 20 seconds per pick. Jason, I have a lot of Montgomery. Thought he was a little underpriced before. Now even more so. Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty in on Monty all off season long. It's been one of my guys that I've talked about. But I feel like more recently I haven't drafted as much of him. I mean, overall, ADP's at 10.6. That's pretty solid. In between Bijan and C-Mac for me. So it's nothing too crazy. Just 9 shares, actually. So, we'll see. I thought about going K-Dot in there, too. Andrew, good to see you. Tajay Spears is going to be a league winner. He can ball. I mean, I do really like Tajay Spears at his current ADP, and I found myself drafting him more lately than I was maybe in the beginning of the offseason. But you see Pollard and Spears go back-to-back right there. Pollard looked a bit better in the preseason action, but I don't know if that really matters. All right, so solid little squad right here. Purdy, Baker, C-Mac, Monty, Swift, Ford. We're probably going to draft 2 running backs, start throws here at the end. Devonta, Evans, Pickens, Worthy, Dobbs, Dotson, Burton, Ingram, and T-Hawk. I might just roll with Ingram and T-Hawk. I don't know. Find out. Taylor says, Tony Pollard looked very explosive the other night, too. Like the Titans' backfield. I mean, I like it, too, but I don't know if it's going to be great for fantasy. A little worried about that. All right. Man, you're seeing a lot of these preseason rookies go off the board. At cost, I think they're solid. I mean, that's definitely fair. Definitely fair. It's not like you're shooting yourself in the foot drafting them. Poor Quentin Johnston. Can always count on him to fall back in the draft. Marvin Mims moving back here. ADP of 178.5 still on the board. Caught a touchdown pass. Probably going to go like Dameon Pierce. I think I'm just going to roll with the 2 quarterbacks on this team. I do really like Ben Sinnott in this range. I was like, what wide receiver can I take at 216 though? I like Chicken Conquo in this range as well. The Senate is gone. All right, so I'll take Pierce. And then I think I'll just take a. Well, you know what? I might go Jordan Mason. I don't really love that pick. I'll just take another tight end. I'll go Gasecki. I have a lot of Chicken Conquo. I have a good amount of Mike Gesicki though, so I don't know if that logic made. Actually, my most drafted tight ends in Underdog: Dalton Schultz, Chicken Conquo, Mike Gesicki, T.J. Hawkinson, Evan Ingram. I just drafted 3 of those guys. So I almost drafted Kate Otten in this draft. Almost drafted Chicken Conquo. So Kate Otten is, let's see, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, number 6. No, number 7, I'm sorry. Tied with Cole Kmet at number 6. So probably need to change that up a little bit. Ben Sinnon's not that far below them, though. Oh, well. Thoughts on Kool-Aid, potential Hall of Fame defender? I mean, with that name, absolutely. I still think this was actually a pretty decent, draft class at the corner position. I'm not going to crown anyone a Hall of Famer before they even played in the NFL. He's on the Saints. It's a team in a really weird spot, so we'll have to wait and see. All right, final pick here. I kind of do this when I draft Purdy and I have the 1.1 and I have C-Mac, is I usually just pick Jawan Jennings. I mean, if I had wanted another stack, I could have gone Daniel Jones with that last pick. And then gone Darius Slayton. Excuse me. But I'd rather just draft Mike Gesicki. All right. I'm going to go blow my nose. I get back. We're hopping into a second draft. That was like an insane live coverage of me sneezing right there. I always get sick right at the beginning of the season. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. It's either like week 1, week 2, week 3, or right before the season. All right, yeah, I guess I'll just draft Jawan Jennings. Let's just get this draft over with. Okay. Let's head to the lobby. And I will enter the lobby, or excuse me, the draft once again. Flock Community Contest 4 is already at, it has went from, the beginning of the stream was at like 51% fill rate. Now it's at 70.8. So I will enter the lobby at 10:57 p.m. Eastern Time. I will count down 3, 2, 1. And we'll get a second draft underway. Get in the dang draft, guys. 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Oh, gosh. That was like an automatic fill. No, I don't see any of you guys. Oh. Oh. But if you guys got into a separate contest, let me know. There's a lot of people joining this draft or this contest. My tea is cold. Oh, that was like the coldest drink of tea I've ever had in my life. Not in a good way. I wish I had waited like 30 more seconds to enter the lobby, Jason, because then I probably would have got into one with a couple spots open at least. This might be filled by like midnight at the rate it's going. Shorty, the league I'm in with my friends, we pick 3 defensive players. I mean, a lot of people do IDP leagues. I just don't. Give me some JJ tonight. Give me some Justin Jefferson. Andrew, have a good night. Thank you for hanging out. All right, so we start with JJ. I guess if I'm trying to stack JJ, I'm drafting Darnold. I guess that's all I can do. Got a banged up JJ McCarthy. I almost went Bijan there. I mean, I've taken Bijan or Hall plenty at that spot this year. Give me a little Justin Jefferson tonight. See what we can come up with here. By the way, guys, I'm delaying the mock draft videos. I know I need to get cracking on those. And that was my plan going into the beginning of this week. I mean, I still have the 1.1 through the 1.5 out. And I might try and get like 2 of them recorded tomorrow. Wow, look at the board. Interesting. But I'm going Gibbs here. Pick 19 all day long. But yeah, like my throat was like hurting earlier. I was like, I'm not filming the mock draft videos. Mr. Sarcastic, is this Mason Flock Fantasy? Yes. Yes, it is. This is his fourth contest. I feel like Gibbs at pick 19 is a steal. That is not something that worries me. That is the type of dip that I will buy. I mean, I was planning on going wide receiver there. And even JT falls back here. We get Debo at the 212, Waddle at the 2-1, Collins at the 2-2, Adams at the 2-3, Ayuk at the 2-4, MH Jr. goes at the 2-5. Interesting. I might go double hero running back here. Switch it up. But I do like DJ Moore, Tank Dell. If Henry's here, I'll go Henry. If not, okay. Well, let's go Metcalf because we just talked about getting more shares in Metcalf. I have a lot of shares of DJ Moore. Shopkey says A-Chain, he's gone. Dwayne Wade drafted him at pick 23. Gibbs A-Chain would be very nice. I still think Pacheco's fine there too, but I'll go wide receiver. Yeah, A-Chain there, I probably would do it too. As much as I like Henry. Probably, most of my drafts probably still going Henry over A-Chain. But I'm going to be in enough leagues this year, have enough drafts done that I can afford to go Henry in some and go A-Chain in others. Still think you definitely, even if you're cautious on Devon A-Chain, you still want to, I think the upside is way too high that you want to be taking shares of him in some of your leagues. All right, moving into pick 43. I don't have a lot of drafts from the 1.6. But I'm probably just going wide receiver. I want to see what running back I can land at pick 67. I feel like there's been pretty good running backs falling out there. Laporte is still on the board. He's kind of interesting considering we have Gibbs. But I'm not going to do it. Let's go Higgins. I do think Laporte is fine here, good value. We have Gibbs. Yeah, I mean, for the team that has Amon-Ra, it makes even more sense. I think if I have Amon-Ra, I probably take Laporte there. Gob, how many fantasy football leagues are you committed to? It's actually, now that Fantasy Endgame has put together their leagues for the year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, my long-term Yahoo league, and then the 4 Dynasty leagues, so 16. Yeah, 16. Which, by the way, if you guys want to get into the final league of the year for the Catch Fam, 4 spots available. Catch Fam League number 5. I have spots open. Chase, sorry, I just saw your message on in that league on Sleeper. I don't have a deadline set, but I'll probably try and get it wrapped up by this weekend. Yeah, Gob, I mean, it's just kind of... It is what it is. You get used to drafting and managing a lot of teams when this is essentially what you do for a living. I really like James Cook right here, but I really like Kirk right here too. I mean, that's a bet against ADP, so I mean, I almost took Kirk over Higgins. I'm good with that. But yeah, I'm trying to get League 5 filled. So let me know if you guys want in. $20 buy-in, full PPR, one quarterback, double flex. What we always do on the PPR mock drafts on the live streams. All right, so I'm happy with that Christian Kirk pick. Because right now we can like kind of scope out some later round quarterbacks for sure. I kind of want to take a tight end soon, though. I kind of want to buy the dip on Hollywood. There goes Worthy and Rice. Oh, the triple whammy. Mahomes, Rice, Worthy, Hollywood. You know, I'm not like totally against this. I'm sure. I mean, this guy's got a red badge. Like he's probably drafting multiple teams. But it's like, I don't want to buy that much into an offense. Generally speaking. Now, I know I had teams from the 1.1 early in the offseason where you could go Mahomes. You could take Hollywood at 49. Rice and Worthy at 72, 73. It was a little bit cheaper then. A lot of good players on the board right here. Yeah, Watson going before Jaden Reed. I'll take Rashad White. I do feel like, while I don't mind buying the dip on Gibbs here, still want a solid RB2. This guy going in on the Lions gets Monty a little bit early. Not sure if he'll get him at 77, so fair. Yeah, I'm probably just I might go Ingram with this next pick. I know I just took him last draft. I don't think Ferguson comes back at pick 91. Got quite a few teams with no tight ends there. But Ramadunze, Lad McConkey, Jameson Williams, Brian Thomas. Decent wider. I do like JSN. There goes Ingram. I might take Ferguson against ADP. It's 6 spots, but it doesn't really bother me. There goes Burrow. I already have Metcalf. I like Jameson Williams here, though. I'll get J-Mo. I'm okay with Lad McConkey there, too. Or Brian Thomas. But I already have Christian Kirk. Not really trying to double dip here. I mean, for me, it's Ferguson or J-Mo. Or I just go with another running back like Ramondre. I don't think J-Mo makes it back to 91. I don't quite think Ferguson will, but there's enough running backs that I think will that I'm okay. Shane, good to see you. What was a Gibbs injury? It's a hamstring injury. So he'll probably be out 2 weeks. If he doesn't have any setbacks, he should be fine and should be back to play week 1. So I'm not really that worried about it. We shall see how things go. The big thing is, does he have a setback or not? If he has a setback, then this could turn into like a Cooper Kupp situation like we saw at the beginning of last year. So definitely a reason to keep an eye on things here, but I'm not going to completely overreact. Gob, on a scale of 1 to 10, quarterback, wide receiver stack thought. What's your exact question? Not sure that I follow. All right, so everyone that I like, Zamir White. I expected JSN and Brian Thomas to be gone, but yeah. Ramondre, Swift, White, Ferguson, all gone. Which is okay. I'm going to get Mostert here. Jordan Addison's kind of interesting, but another guy I like is Cortland Sutton, Romeo Dobbs. Yeah, this is going to be a late round tight end build. I'm trying to push Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if Team 12 is really going to go for T-Law. That's a crazy build. Mahomes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide receivers. The team that has Ingram's right here, he's got no quarterback. If he's going to do it, he's going to do it at 95 or 98. So we'll find out. Is it better to try and stack or not? And redraft, it really does not matter. It doesn't. It can be helpful, but it's not going to make or break you either way. In best ball, yes, you should stack. I mean, the data shows that 1 quarterback to 1 wide receiver stacks are extremely beneficial in best ball. A little bit less value in a quarterback to 2 wide receiver stacks. Not actually a tremendous amount of value in, at least last year, in quarterback to tight end stacks. Because you have to imagine, right? Dang, Sutton and Dobbs gone. Like, you look at the top tight ends last year. Like, obviously, a Goff Laporta stack was beneficial. You look at Evan Ingram, right? It's like Trevor Lawrence was hurt. T-Law didn't play week 16 or 17, right? He played week 16. Didn't play week 17. So I guess that one was not bad. But those are the top 2 scoring tight ends. Like, that makes sense. Kelsey Mahomes was fine, but it wasn't nearly as impactful as it has been in years past. Plus, like, Underdog is half PPR. And then was Njoku number 4? He was number 5. So Kittle was number 4. So Kittle was relatively beneficial. Oh, wait, Kittle was tight end 5. Njoku was 6. Who am I missing? Was McBride 4? No, he was 7. But, I mean, the point being is, like, McBride didn't have Kyler all season long. Kincaid finished as 11. And Njoku didn't have Watson all season long. Did T-Hawk finish? T-Hawk was 4. T-Hawk didn't have Kirk all season long. All right, I pushed Trevor Lawrence successfully, so I'll just take him. So I don't know if that helped to prove what I was trying to say. And then there's not a lot of data, at least last year, that showed a ton of value in terms of quarterback to running back stacks either. That's just last year. The most important thing at the end of the day is one quarterback to a one wide receiver stack. And it's going to be, obviously, the number one wide receiver on that respective team having the most value. So like a Goff to Amon-Ra happens in this draft. I don't know why this guy passed on Tua. He's got Lamar. No stack, which, like, you don't have to have a stack, but you should. All right, so I think I'll go running back here. We're already down in the weeds at tight end. Probably try and take a tight end at 139 and 150. Take a running back here, and then I think we're actually in a pretty good spot. So I'll probably go Jerome Ford with this next pick. If not, then it's probably Rico Dowdle, and Jerome Ford is gone. We've got a pretty good running back room. Oh, man. Missed my pick. I got Eckler. That's okay, too. I keep forgetting that this is 20 seconds per pick. But yeah, like in redraft, single quarterback formats, like stacking isn't going to do anything so substantial that I feel like you're going to like win your league potentially because of it. But I mean, like if Jalen Hurts has a good week, probably A.J. Brown's having a good week for the most part. If Jalen Hurts having a good week, Devonta Smith is probably having a good week. If they're having a bad week, then A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith might not have the best stat lines, but like in full PPR, Jalen Hurts doesn't have to be fantastic for those guys to have good weeks, you know? If Amon-Ra St. Brown has a 100-yard receiving game and a touchdown, 10 receptions, that probably means Jared Goff had a decent week. So, if Jared Goff has a bad week, then Amon-Ra St. Brown probably didn't have a great week, but in full PPR, he can still hit double digits, right? So, it's like redraft, it doesn't hold as much value. Generally. Dang, tight ends just wiped out here. Really am down in the weeds. Just give me Rico. Surprised Rico Dowdle's here. I mean, I was thinking I could get Command at 139 and then like a... I mean, I got no tight ends right now. Like a Musgrave. Dowdle's a good... I mean, we're looking very solid other than we have no tight end. This has been like a pretty aggressive tight end draft, too. Oh, well. We better find some studs. We got 5 rounds left. Well, technically 6 picks. God, I was looking at Dak and CD from last year. I mean, yeah, one of the best stacks you could have had last year. The quarterback 3 and the wide receiver 1. It's going to be kind of hard for them to repeat this year, but it could certainly happen. I mean, even if those guys regress, CD's top 6, Dak's top 8, like, nothing wrong with chasing them. Chris from Fantasy Endgame always says in these rounds when like you start to draft tight ends in this range, you're making a Frankenstein tight end team, and that's what this team is going to be. We're going to draft 3 tight ends with different bye weeks that we think can be good. I was interested to see if Stafford or Cousins fell here, but it doesn't really matter. We kind of have to go with Luke Musgrave here. Then we'll look at like Cade Otton, Tyler Conklin, Ben Sinnott, Chicken Conquo, Mike Gesicki, Dawson Knox. That's about it. Maybe Noah Fant. Problem with drafting from like the 1-6 is like I just always feel like good value just kind of falls to you. That's kind of what's been happening all draft long. So it's hard to kind of lock up like a certain position when there's like a running back who's fallen or a wide receiver that's fallen, and you're like, this player's here at a good value. I'm just going to take him. Kind of been the story of this draft thus far. Almost took Herbert with that last pick, too. Yeah, kind of a heavy quarterback round there, round 13. Stafford, Watson, Fields, Cousins, Herbie. So if Rodgers is here, I might take Rodgers and then try and go Conklin and then try and go Corley. But he might go, well, now the team that has Garrett Wilson has Allen and Daniels, which is a nice little combo, I may add. Could also go Baker, then try and get Otton. That works out at ADP too. I just drafted Baker last draft, so I'm like, he's got Hall. Dang it, that was a good plan. All right, welcome to the team, Baker. Welcome you with arms wide open. Just Baker, Bryce Young, Baker Mayfield, Kirk Cousins, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers. One of those 5 quarterbacks is always my QB2. They're my most drafted quarterbacks in Underdog Fantasy. Then we go into Tua, Mahomes, Goff, Carr, Lawrence, Prescott, Love, Stroud, Hurts, Murray, all studs except for Carr. So then you get some more fillers, QB2, 3s, Levis, Fields, Wilson, Purdy, Allen, Daniels, Geno, Burrow. Interesting. Oh, yeah, so try and get Cade Otton with this next pick. I don't know. There's some tempting wide receivers if I can try and push Cade Otton to 187, but I don't know if I want to push my luck here. We're looking pretty solid. T-Law, Baker, Gibbs, White, Mostert, Eckler, Dowdle. Good running backs. We're kind of going hero RB with Gibbs. Pick 19, by the dip. J.J. Metcalf, Higgins, Kirk, J-Mo, Shaheed, and Musgrave. So basically want to go 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver to end this draft. Chandler, trade Etienne and Adams for Lamb. I probably would. Yes. Chat, how do you guys feel? Adams and Etienne for Lamb? Depends on the format and your entire roster. All right, both the players that I like right here are gone. Oh my! I think I technically missed that pick, but I barely made that pick. My timer said 1 second. So I'll take Burton. I'm okay with as my wide receiver 7. I think I'm going to try and go Malachi Corley with this next pick. He might go to the team with Rodgers. He just took Braylon Allen, though. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of investment. Hall. I guess he might just be handcuffing Brees Hall there. Sorry, I'm wiping my nose on live stream. There's nothing I hate in the world more than being sick. Nothing. It's just the most annoying thing possible. All right. Goes David Pierce. Do kind of like Jalen Tolbert in this range. At this point, Jonnu Smith needs to be on our draft board. But he's been rotating with Durham Smythe. And then Chicken Conquo is competing with Josh Weil. Yeah, there goes Corley. It's a good pick for that team. Honestly, at this point, I do feel like Will Levis is a good value. But, I mean, I'll just take Ben Sinnott because I feel good about him. I don't know if he'll be there at 198. I mean, there's a team out here, Jaden Daniels. No, he drafted already. He's at 86. But I'm okay. I mean, we're just kind of filling in here. All right, so I'll wrap it up after this draft. Sorry for being sick. But I knew with the Jahmyr Gibbs situation, I had to make an appearance. But yeah, my main thing is just don't panic here. We'll see if there's any setbacks or not. If there's not, I think Gibbs will be fine. I mean, maybe they ease him in to start the season with Monty in front, but I still think when Gibbs is fully healthy, the ceiling is just too high to be overly worried about here. So I'm not going to worry too much about Gibbs. I'll probably buy the dip for now. We'll see. I mean, maybe we get like a update that things are not looking good. But we'll just have to wait and see. So if they don't force him back too soon, I think it'll be fine. Yeah, there's just like nothing at wide receiver or tight end that I feel great about here. I'll just take Bryce Young. I almost took Daniel Jones just to stack with Darius Slayton, but I don't feel really any confidence in that anyways. There goes Darius Slayton, so I'm glad I didn't. Then I would have just picked Daniel Jones for no reason. Which, if you're going to draft Daniel Jones, you had best better have had a reason. Is that even a sentence? You better have a reason if you draft Daniel Jones. The words I was probably trying to say there. All right. Final pick. Do we trust Luke Musgrave and Ben Sinnott for a whole season? And do we go wide receiver? That might be what I do. There's nobody at wide receiver that's like overly enticing here, though. All right, give me the rookie. Give me Jordan Whittingham. Why not? We'll go with the Musgrave, Ben Sinnott combo at tight end. Good little team here. T-Law, Baker, Bryce Young. T-Law is stacked with Kirk. That's our only stack. It happens. Gibbs, White. I mean, I guess we have a Baker to White stack. Mostert, Eckler, Dowdle, J.J. Metcalf, Higgins, Kirk, J-Mo, Shaheed, Burton, Jordan Whittingham, Luke Musgrave, and Ben Sinnott. So we'll take it. All right, ladies and gents, thank you for hanging out tonight. Once again, sorry for being sick, but happy to be here with you guys tonight and throw together 2 teams, do 2 drafts. And I'll let you guys know what my plan is for the week. And hopefully I'll continue to feel better as the week goes on. But I'm going to try and get some content recorded and out. But no matter what, we'll have something, shorts, content, streams, whatever it may be, throughout the week for you guys. So just stay posted. All right. Love you guys, man. Love this community. Love the Catch fam. With that, I'll say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, saw it here on the Catch.